So now we're taking it to the 5 profit centers, the same profit centers that we teach on the show often and that, are the foundation of why you should put your dollars into this asset class. And we're breaking it down for Orlando, Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville. You want to take it away? What do you see?
I see negative net rental income in Orlando and Miami, which immediately turns me off. And then I look down and I see total profits across the board. Orlando, 1.8 million and IRR of 7.6%. Tampa, 2.3 million, IRR of 8.9%. Miami, 1.8 million, IRR of 8.7%. And Jacksonville, 2.1 million, IRR of 8.7%. I'm surprised that Jacksonville has more overall profit than Miami, based on the idea that Miami is already like a higher home price appreciation with a bigger ticket item.
Right.
Like that's the first thing that stands out to me. And then after that, I'm like, damn, Tampa actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's really good. Let's talk about the Miami thing first and foremost. It does have more home price appreciation. It has $2.5 million that you're going to earn in home price appreciation over 20 years with an investment of that size. So substantial. But what a lot of people don't think about is what does it take to get there and how much risk am I taking along the way? So you're going to have to dump 95 grand in net rental income along the way. There's that risk component, right? It doesn't meet the threshold for, best risk adjusted returns because you got to go out of pocket to the tune of almost $100,000 to get there. But most investors don't take that extra step, right? They don't take that extra step and meet that standard, which is cash flow positive first. That's the entrance to the dance. And then we focus on the other profit centers.
We haven't said that in a while.
I know, man. Bring that back.
Positive. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting, man.
And then look at Tampa. So again, this is all objective, right? This data, it is what it is. And truthfully, I hadn't looked at the Tampa market in quite a while.
Yeah.
The information has come in as far as updated rent price appreciation all the way through current and then home price appreciation. And Tampa market looks pretty good. I was surprised that the numbers stacked up so well. I was surprised that it was close to the amount of net rental income that you could get in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And the biggest reason is because their rent price appreciation and their home price appreciation has gone up, especially over the last 5 to 10 years.
What's happened over the last 5 to 10 years?
Glad you asked about that. One thing that has happened in Tampa and Miami is that their downtowns have revitalized and have become a growth engine, not just for that community, but a growth engine for rent price appreciation and home price appreciation in the Tampa and Miami markets. If I had done this data, call it 5 years ago, it would tell a different story because the rent price appreciation and home price appreciation in Tampa and Miami has gone up a lot. And a growth agent is because of what specifically has happened in downtown Tampa. We'll focus on that one. So it's called the Water Street Development District. If you've been to downtown Tampa, it is a completely different place than it used to be 15 years ago.
Totally.
They've been able to placemake. They've been able to incorporate the river downtown, make it a walkable, activated riverfront. They've been able to bring their sports venues online. And they had investors coming in to the tune of $4 billion that they put into downtown Tampa. And now we're 5 years into that development, and you're starting to see the value of the single family residential properties, workforce housing properties around downtown have gone up substantially. Do you see any parallels about things that we discuss on the show here, Pablo, in relation to Jacksonville?
I see some parallels. I see something that we talk about all the time, which is one of the big reasons why we want you to come to the summit. And it's this idea that if you know that a downtown is going to pop, it is like knowing to buy Apple stock before they announce the iPhone. I think that that's one of the most interesting storylines that we've had here over the last 3 years. And right now is this moment where you can really, really feel it and it's becoming very, very real. If you come to the summit, right, which you can go to at jwbrealestatecapital.com/summit and register and come. But yeah, man. So I went back to the slide before this because you see that the home price appreciation in Tampa is 5.4%, Miami is 5.8%, Jacksonville is 5%, right? So like if I was to then take what we're saying is over the next 20 years, if what we know is going to happen in downtown happens, then we also expect this HPA to go up as well.
That is the opportunity. That's why you got to come to the summit to see it as well. But that is the under promise and over deliver opportunity here. We know that before Jacksonville's downtown revitalizes and grows, we're already really close to the same home price appreciation levels that we've seen in other parts of the state and better than other parts of the country. And that's before the big catalyst that happened in Tampa and Miami. But if you can get in and you can start to build your portfolio at a time like right now, before interest rates go down, you're betting on that curve going up. Instead of it being 5% for the next 20 years, maybe that's 5.2%, maybe that's 5.4%. That can happen when you have such a growth agent like a downtown coming online. So I think it's really cool to see another market that is another good investment opportunity here, objectively speaking, just based on the numbers, and also look at why. And what does that relate to Jacksonville? Because Jacksonville it hasn't happened yet.
So did you see, does this make you want to expand JWB to Tampa? Like I'm seeing Tampa as a good deal, right? Like, looks great, right?
It certainly is worthy of the conversation, for sure. But what's the number one priority when making a decision to invest in rental properties, Pablo?
The team.
The team, right? What we're looking at here is the number 2 criteria for making a great rental property investment, right? The number 1 is the team. And so before you look at all this data, you should be doing your due diligence on a vertically integrated provider, where you have a team that you feel is worthy of handling your dollars and turning those fancy spreadsheets into actual returns on investment and making this a wonderful client experience. Find them first and then go and look at the markets that they serve. So JWB has planted our flag here in Jacksonville. We're not going anywhere. We think this is the best market to be in today, and we think it's the best market to be in for the future, especially because of some of the big opportunities that we have in our marketplace. If you had a JWB type of vertically integrated outfit in Tampa, that would be a wonderful thing to consider. But don't get it twisted. Don't go to Tampa just because the numbers look good here and then find anybody to work with. Find the best of the best. And if you happen to find that in Tampa, then start to look at the assets, start to look at the overall city and make your decision that way.
And you guys won't expand to Tampa because you think growing a team that's vertically integrated is too difficult to do in 2 different places, essentially?
I think it comes down to the best way to serve our clients, the best way to serve our team, really. I think people discount how difficult it is to build a vertically integrated operation. Guys, it's taken us 18 years to get to the point that we're at, right? And it wasn't always smooth sailing, right? We started in 2006 and we were there in the Great Recession and we survived and have learned how to thrive since then. But there is just magic inside these walls, and it's the people that we have. And so I relate that to risk for an investor. A lot of times, especially before we started to do the show, people would say, oh man, I wish JWB would go to this market, go to this market, go to this market. And now what we start to see on the show is, I'm so glad that you guys are in Jacksonville because I know that this experience is going to be delivered upon. The promises are going to be delivered on. So I believe that in terms of best risk-adjusted return on investment, staying in one market, planting your flag, and making a real impact there is best for the clients. And then, in addition to that, there's the community. Think about the impact we can make here in Jacksonville. The homes that we build for new construction and then give to members in our community, right? We have 5 families in Jacksonville that have a brand new home that was donated to them because of all of you and JWB Cares and our entire network coming together. If we were in 5 different cities, that would be one family, right? We have a fraternity of people here.
You got a starting basketball team.
Yeah, we do, right? And think about what that does for our community here in Jacksonville. And there's a million other examples. So there's the investor perspective, there's the community perspective, and then there's the team and the personal preference. My business partners and I live here in Jacksonville. We absolutely love it here. Our families are here. We have young families, and we want to be here building the special thing that we have. So there's really not a desire to go and chase a few dollars to go to another marketplace.
Got it. Okay. So if we're looking at all this stuff, right, you're looking at net rental incomes, tax savings, principal pay downs, home price appreciation across time. You're looking at one of the other indicators here, the single family workforce median sales price and median gross rents and your total investments. And as you're looking at it across the country, Jacksonville compares very, very favorably to a bunch of cities that we know to be places that people like to invest, like San Francisco, New York, Atlanta, Cleveland, and Ohio. And if you dial in really into Florida, really only Tampa compares to the return and overall risk mitigation that Jacksonville provides. But before you do all that stuff, you got to find team first. So if you can go do your homework there, find a great team, then Tampa is a viable option. If you can't, then you're really, that you have that team in Jacksonville. So you can look in Jacksonville.